Well guys, welcome back to another episode of Prado 150 out of here. Today I'm with my mate Mark. He's got a Prado. I found this Prado and he's done a few things to his Prado, and I just thought we'd do a bit of a run through to see what Mark's done to his car and give you guys out there maybe a bit of an idea of some things to do. So Mark, what Prado have you got?
Same as yours. I think yours is a 15 though.
That's
Mine's
right, yeah.
a December 14, so
okay.
Pretty much the last of the 3 litres like you.
Yep, okay. And you've done a few things.
Done a few mods over the years, yeah.
Yep.
Trial and error with a few different mods, which we can go over. What's worked, what hasn't worked, and I'm very happy with what I've got now.
Okay. Now, mate, your car's going to be much cleaner than mine, isn't it?
Lights, okay.
Lights.
So these are great white spotties.
Yep.
I got them from a 4x4 show in Brisbane, the big one.
Oh, nice. Yep.
I got them a couple of years ago, and I just absolutely rate these lights for visibility. Probably the only downside is the street signs reflect so brightly you actually have to turn them down because they're that bright.
Yeah, wow.
And same with the light bar. That's a great white as well.
Okay, yep.
One of the main reasons I went with them, and I didn't realise this till afterwards, I did have a couple of little issues with them, and the after sales service was just incredible. Like no company I have probably dealt with has been so good with their after sales service.
Yeah.
So that's what you look for in a product, you know. If you do have any sort of issues, they were straight away replace it, no questions asked. They were brilliant.
And that's what you want, isn't it?
Absolutely. And like I said, they've been up the Cape, they've been through water, no issues at all.
So did you put these in yourself, or?
No, I actually had them installed.
Okay. Yep. No worries. And I just noticed you got a part of the UHF radio here. What's this one?
This is a GME, so it's just got the cover on it. I only ever put that on when we're going on trips, when we need to communicate with vehicles around us or friends that you're travelling with. So when we're not doing that, I just pop that on there to keep the main shaft nice and safe.
Yeah. And do you know what type of area that you put on there?
It's a short, stumpy one. That's about all I know.
Yeah, do you know some have a choice of putting a small, stumpy one or a bigger, long one?
Yeah, I chose the short, stumpy one for when you're away. You can still get into all your undercover car parks and things like that. So for practicality more than anything, and when you're travelling in convoy, you don't really need that distance. Travelling, just communicating vehicle to vehicle. So that's why I just went with the shorter one. Okay, so the bull bar I chose was the ARB bull bar. It's got the thicker tubing. It's colour coded to match the vehicle. Again, I went with the product, the reliability of the product. You can see this, like I said, this has been through the bush. It still looks like it's brand new. Also, just a bit of a shout out to the team at Gympie ARB, Greg. He's been unbelievable the way he's looked after me in relation to products. I had a ruse strike which smashed my fog light down the bottom here. They didn't have any in stock, so he's actually taken one off the floor off one of the display units and replaced it there and then for me. So he's been really good as far as that's concerned, and after sales service again has been fantastic. I can't complain. So great finish. It's got a good profile. If I get eventually, you've got your easy access here. So that's something that's on the cards, but at this stage I just haven't got around to getting that. Good departure angle, good approach angle on them. So really good product. So also when I got the bull bar fed, it also got one of the recovery points. All this was put on prior to going up the Cape, just in case we got stuck, so there was somewhere secure to tow the vehicle. Best time to get those is as they're installing the bull bar. So also from ARB, rated recovery point, so I've got no issues there if I have to get out in a hurry. Going through all the water crossings, we actually hooked a strap up to that prior to heading in, and just in case, so we could get it out quick, but didn't actually have to use it.
I can see some pretty cool suspension you got in there. What have you got there for?
Yeah, so I've gone with the OME BP51s.
Yep.
That's not the first lot of suspension I have tried other suspension, but previous suspension I bought just didn't do the job after one trip. They were pretty much cactus. So I have tried different things. I've had Bilsteins, which were brilliant, and I've also had Conies, which were really good. I've got Conies on the rear and I have read a lot about the BP51, so I thought for something different, I'll give them a crack and see how they go. So
take us through, how do they work? Because I noticed you've got a canister fed into the back here as well. What's all that about, mate?
So it has got a separate canister just to run, so the shock runs a lot cooler, and they're also fully adjustable. So with a lot of other shockies like the conies on the back, you actually have to take them off to adjust them, whereas these on the vehicle, you've got a tool and you can just make the adjustments as you feel you need them. So supposed to run really cool, and just from what I've experienced so far, just the ride is just incredible, so smooth.
Yep, okay. And the canister, that's for extra oil?
Oil, correct, yeah. The oil then just runs through the canister as well and just keeps the shock a lot cooler.
And I think you said before you haven't actually had to adjust them?
No, they come preset.
Yeah.
And for the driving that I've done, I've only sort of done basic dirt roads and a lot of beach work, and for that they've just been brilliant, no issues whatsoever.
Now you mentioned Cape York. Did you have these on for Cape York?
I didn't have these on for Cape York.
I wish you had.
Absolutely, I wish I did.
Yeah.
Like I said, the shocks I had, they did one trip, the Cape York trip, and then when I had them replaced, the mechanic actually took them out of my vehicle, put them on the bench, and an hour later we came back and they still hadn't extended back out. So and that was disappointing, because they were a reputable brand. So it's a bit of a shame, but trial and error. You got to try these things to see what works.
Yeah. And while we're here, mate, what tyres have you got on here?
I'm running the BF Goodrich KO2s.
Yep.
These I can't fault. They've been absolutely brilliant. Did the Cape in these. Probably the worst part about them is I'm actually going to have to replace them before they're worn out because they're getting hard. But great tyre. I have thrown around like you did, going the next size up.
Yep.
But then you have, you look at your fuel economy, you look at your speedo, you have to look at those other sort of, and weigh up whether it's worth doing or not. So
at the moment you've just got the standard factory size.
Yep, 275, 65, 17. So just the standard size, and like I said, they've been brilliant.
So they wouldn't even, they'd probably, what would you say, half? They'd be about half worn?
Yeah, just over half, I'd say. I've probably done 85, 90,000 Ks on them.
Yeah, serious, wow.
Yeah, so they've
held up. It's a shame when you got to replace them because they're getting too old.
Absolutely, especially when they're, you're looking at 340 a corner.
Yeah. And not like mine, you've just kept these the same colour. They look pretty good with the black.
Yeah, and that's the reason. I did have I had a 120 series Prado where I did what you did and painted them black, but I just think it's just separates it a little bit from having the vehicle totally black to keep them as standard. So.
So while we're here too, the Snorkel. What do we got here?
I've just got an AirTech Snorkel.
Yep.
It's a bit silly, really. I just like the design of them, to be honest. I like the way it curves around the windscreen. It doesn't have the big,
the big
ram on it.
Yep.
So again, it's been great. I haven't had any issues. Deep water crossings, I've had water up to the windscreen, and no problem at all at the Cape. So it's been really good.
Because you don't really know until you go through a crossing.
100%. You're very nervous going into that water, aren't you?
Check that airbox afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's great. It looks pretty slick there, mate. So you talked about Cape York.
Yes.
I've done Cape York, and my viewers would know I've had some issues with alternator dramas. Have you had anything like that?
I have not had one issue with my alternator. In saying that, I did put a car bra on every time I went through a water crossing.
Yep.
So I did have starter motor issues though.
Oh, okay.
So on the return of my trip, starter motor pretty much cactus.
Yeah, okay.
But luckily that was repaired under warranty, so it didn't end up costing me anything. But to date, still got the original alternator. So. The shockies I've gone with at the back are the conies. They're fully adjustable. They're massive shocks, as you can see. They're 90mm bore, so they're absolutely huge. Plenty of oil. Again, for those long hours on corrugations that just make all the difference. I have had them on a previous vehicle. I had them on a Toyota 4Runner that I did the Cape with, and again, I just couldn't fault them. They were brilliant. Never missed a beat, never failed on me. Like I said, they're fully adjustable. So yeah, another good product that I decided to go with. So worked for me before, so thought I'd give them a go again. So the roof rack I've gone with just the Rhino Pioneer platform. Main reason is for the height. So having the platform still allows me to get into all the undercover car parks when you're not going camping, going away. The functionality of it, the amount of things you can attach to the roof rack. I've got a rooftop tent that I sit up there. I've got my awning that I run on the side, and because of the functionality of it, you can just put stuff on, take stuff off. It's no issues at all. It's just on and off really quick, and they are very sturdy and very stable. Actually, the good thing about this, mechanically, I am not mechanically minded whatsoever. I installed this myself, so all I did is took the roof rails off, and then your actual bolts that your roof rails sit on, the Rhino rack fits those, and it goes into the same screw holes. Because I was going up the Cape, I knew I'd be doing a lot of corrugations. I just put Loctite around them as well. And like I said, this rack's been on here for probably 4 or 5 years, and it has not moved.
No dramas.
An inch, no, it hasn't budged at all.
So no, there's no pot rivets to be seen up there?
No pot rivets at all.
Excellent. And I think there's a stationary and a moving weight.
Yeah, that's correct. When the vehicle's stationary, you got your rooftop tent on there. Obviously, you can put more weight on the platform because it's stationary. But obviously, moving, you've got that wind and the vehicle's moving, so there's a lot less weight that you can have on top of your rack. So,
hey Mark, mate, when I was just wandering around having a bit of a compare to my car to yours, mate, I come across this. What's this, mate?
Mate, this is
pretty.
This is more Legend X exhaust.
Mate.
It is mint. Sounds good. Again, I'm similar to you. You know, you want longevity out of your vehicle. I'm going to have this vehicle for a long time. So one of the most important aspects of that exhaust was to draw that heat out of my motor.
Fair enough.
It's brilliant. It's worked a treat. Easy to install. Comes packaged ready to be with instructions, and anyone can do it. Like I said.
So you put it on yourself, did you?
I put this one on myself.
Wow. Yeah, good on you. Okay. And what does she sound like?
Well, you'll have a listen later. Sounds very good.
Do I get a drive, mate?
You get to have a drive.
Oh, yes. Because we'll get to it soon, but I believe he's had a tune on this car.
Just a tiny little tune.
He says it's better than mine, so we'll have to check it out, eh? Awesome, mate. Now, while we're talking about the exhaust, what's at the front where it comes out of the manifold? Is it just still 3-inch up there, or have you done anything different?
No, just straight from the engine. It's the exhaust runs all the way through, so it's got that thicker pipe, and it's the dump pipe is back a bit, so just to get that heat out quicker.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, it makes a lot of difference. I don't think performance-wise it really makes much difference, but again, I've had the tune, so I wasn't after the performance, I was after the longevity for my motor, so that's the main reason.
You're on.
Yep. Right, so I haven't really done much in the rear of my vehicle yet. I've got a 12-volt plug here just to put my fridge into, and I have got the K-on shelf just to make life a bit easier, plus it's got some handy stubby openers on each corner there. I have had some plans to fit out the rear of my vehicle, but to date I haven't been able to do that. I know there's some really good companies, DMW Industries and Toowoomba, that do make a brilliant product. So I wouldn't mind going and having a chat to them to see what they can do. And I have seen some good setups in the rear of Prados, in the rear of wagons. So that's definitely something that's on the cards, but just to date, I haven't been able to get that done yet. So when we do go camping, what we usually do, I usually just sit the fridge. I've got a 60 litre Engel that goes in the rear, and then we've just got storage boxes that we just pile up on the right hand side there and fit everything in there. Usually I've got the rooftop tent, so that takes all your bedding and those items out of it, and that's about it. The way we've got it set up now with everything, it just works and it just fits with the way it is. So if I do get rid of the rear seats in the back here, that'll give me that extra space there to work with to install something a bit more permanent, but like I said, at this stage I haven't got around to doing that. I have seen the K-On, they do make a really good table that just fits on the back here, and you can remove these side bits here, and actually there's like a little storage solution in there where you can put all your salt and pepper shaker or whatever else you need there, but that is something that I'm seriously looking at, and again, that's not too expensive, so that's probably going to be my next install on this.
Now Mark, when I look at your car, and I look at mine, yours is super shiny. Have you been doing a bit of work, mate, ready for today?
No, I haven't done work for today.
Are you preparing this model?
This is what I do, probably every 12 months to 18 months. Yep. I'll take the roof rack off, I'll pull the spare tyre off, and I'll just give it a detail from top to bottom. Just second biggest investment that we pretty much will have in our lives. I love my car, I want to look after it. Always use Maguire's products, I've been using them for years, and as you can see, the age of this vehicle and where it's been, and it still looks like this, and that's just because I look after it.
Mate, when I look at this, it looks like it was only yesterday that you polished it. So how
It may have been yesterday.
Okay, all right.
Maybe I did know you were coming. But, yeah, no, like I said, it is what I do, mate, on a regular basis.
It looks awesome. Like, it really does. It looks like it's just come out of the showroom, seriously. And it looks like, you know, when you say you've been to Cape York and you do a bit of full driving, when you look at this, you wouldn't even know that you've done that. It just looks absolutely awesome. There is
the occasional reminder when you get the gurney up here, you'll see the streams of red dust. You'll probably get the same.
The Cape York dust.
The Cape York dust.
Yeah. So, mate, I'd take my hat off to you. I think, you know, the car looks absolutely awesome. You've really looked after it, and sounds like you
thanks, mate.
Take care of it. And
I do.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best looking Prados I've seen, I think.
My mechanic says it's the cleanest car in Dolby.
Yeah, well, that's
Interior wise, there's not really much that I've done. I've installed a GME UHF. I didn't install, I got someone to install that due to the electrics. And the only other thing I've had done is seat covers, and I have had these 3D car mats. They are absolutely brilliant. They are moulded to your vehicle. You can pour water on them, you can run mud through them, and you can just take them out and hose them off. They are probably one of the best things that I've got for this vehicle. They are amazing. You just buy them online. Other than that, she's pretty much stock standard. Line of 3D car mats, if you jump online, on eBay you will find them, and they come for all vehicles. I've actually had 3 different sets in 3 different cars I've had now, and they last, they don't wear, they're easy to vacuum, unlike the carpets that come with your vehicles. They're just, they just really work.
And the sun, mate, the sun's just bringing out your tan. Tell you what. So, mate, this is where the action happens, isn't it?
This is it.
Now, so yours is 2014, is that right?
Correct. Yep.
So it's still got it's a 3 litre, obviously.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Turbo diesel.
Yes.
Now, it looks pretty much the same as mine, but I can see a few bits and pieces in it that yours has got and mine hasn't got. So I can see a spare space down there where a battery would normally go. I've filled mine up with a battery.
Yep.
You got any plans for any batteries?
I don't. I'm actually looking at a secondary battery box, so I can move it from vehicle to vehicle if I change vehicles.
Yep.
When you set up at your campsite, you can take your fridge and your battery out,
yep,
have it sitting there at your campsite, so you don't have to have it in your vehicle.
And we were talking before, so that'll be one that's got the DC charger, yes, on it, because these have the smart alternator,
correct,
in them. Yeah. Okay. Now, as I'm looking around, I can see, is that a pre-filter?
It is. It's a Diesel Care filter.
Yep.
Like I said, I'm not mechanically minded. I fitted that myself. It comes with a bracket. Yep. Very easy to do. Very easy to do.
Yep. Awesome. Okay.
That was a bit of an insurance policy before I went up the Cape as well, because I had heard that there was certain areas that there is a possibility you could get water in your fuel. Yep. So just to alleviate that and give myself that little bit of peace of mind,
Yeah.
I just installed that just to make sure that I was getting good diesel.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I have had done, I have had a tune, as we mentioned before. The guys at Just Autos at Nambour looked after me in relation to my tune. Again, that was done before I went up the Cape, and I wanted a mild tune, so I wanted torque down low, but I wasn't concerned about top end. So the reason for that is, again, looking after my vehicle, and if I was faced with an obstacle up the Cape, I didn't want to have to get a run up for anything. I just wanted to have that reassurance that when I put my foot down, I had that torque and that power to get me out of trouble, and the tune that they gave me was spot on what I asked for. The power that like even for a mild tune, I think I couldn't get the smile off my face for about a week once I had that tune done. It was brilliant, and the vehicle hasn't missed a beat. It's probably been 80,000 Ks since I've had that tune. Again, I change my oil every 5,000, do all my filters, so I do look after it and make sure that everything's running smoothly. So couldn't recommend them enough. Did a really good job, and I'm really happy with it.
Mark, so have you had to do anything with injectors or anything with this?
I actually did, after I had my tune done, because it was asking for more fuel, it actually went into limp mode a couple of times.
Yep.
So when I went back to work out why it was going into limp mode, they did a check of my injectors, and they found out that my injectors were pretty much cactus. And that was only after 100,000 Ks, and the reason for that was I just didn't use the vehicle enough. I live close to work, so I'll be probably doing 10,000 Ks a year, which we know diesel motors need to be driven. So due to that fact, I had all my injectors replaced. I did also have one of those chemical cleans done, and to date, it's just run perfectly. Never missed a beat. But that was an issue because it was asking for more fuel because of the tune. But again, it was the injectors that just due to not using the vehicle, that got a bit clogged up.
So mate, overall, you sound like you're really happy with the whole vehicle.
Absolutely, absolutely love it. I mentioned to you before, I had a 2019 VX Prado. That was what I was going to step into because this was getting a bit old. I drove. We had.
Sorry to interrupt you, but that's a 2.7. 2.8. Sorry, 2.8 litre.
2.8 litre VX. So it had leather, had all the bells and whistles, and I thought that's going to be my future vehicle. That was the plan at the time, but we drove it for 18 months, 2 years, and I just love this car. So I sold that.
If the screen goes off, you just tap it.
Okay.
Can you see me right? Just gonna go before on short legs, mate.
In a real car this time, hey?
Well, Mark, mate, I wasn't expecting to be in the driver's seat. This is like so clean compared to mine. Mind you, I did go full driving yesterday. So
that's right. You got an excuse.
This is just nice, mate. Yeah. Wow. All right. So time to go for a cruise, mate.
See what you think?
Are we going to pull wheelies or what?
It'll pull wheelies. You'll see. Not quite.
So the eye dries off, so we're not cheating here.
Correct.
All right. No worries. You don't mind if I leave a mess in your driveway? Yeah?
No dust.
All right. I can just feel that already. Oh, mate. Wow. Which way am I going to go? What do
you can go that way. We'll go do a lap around the block.
Yeah. All right. I won't spin the wheels on your driveway then. Yeah, this is nice. Better do the speed limit, mate. I forgot about that part.
I told you you'd notice. It's.
Yeah.
Yep. So what's the verdict?
Mate, it's...
I told you you'd like it.
I like it. No, you've really looked after this car, mate, and I'm so impressed by, you know, just how you've looked after it with so clean and tidy, and I'm sure you're not afraid of, you know, knowing you're not afraid to take it off road either.
Absolutely not. That's why you buy them.
Yeah, so you take it off road, you come back, you look after it, you clean her up, and you know, and then you do it all again, don't you?
Absolutely. Yep.
Again,
That's probably the worst part about going up the beach. Probably takes me a day and a half to get right underneath it, get in all the sills, and just make sure it's got no salt or no sand in it.
So how do you do that? Do you take it to a car wash first and get all the main stuff off?
Every now and then I'll do the under body wash, but most of the time I'll just put a sprinkler underneath the vehicle and just move the sprinkler around and just lie on the ground and get right underneath it.
It's amazing all the stuff that falls off.
Oh, just where sand gets, it's just incredible.
He's discovered my fridge, so see what he's going to find in there.
Let's have a look. What have we got in here? Oh, look at this, hey?
It's got beers in there finally, eh? Look at that. It's perfect. Look at that, eh?
Look how cold they are too.
They're your favourite, aren't they?
They are my favourite.
Reckon you're going to go for an up right now, mate, after having that? Seeing that?
Well, I've got to put something in the back of mine. I just don't know what yet.
Well, I had as people would know, I had the angle. Still got it at home, but gone the upright. Just doing so. Well, I'll give it a test.
Cheers.
During the rig, yeah. Cheers, mate. That's a good rig you got there, mate. She's nice and clean compared to mine. So very impressive.
A lot of love's gone into that.
Yeah, no. Well done. You can see, mate. You can tell.
C4C.